Hi, Kingdom. Welcome back. I have a story time today. These stories I have been putting off for a long time because they are very, very emotional to me. I don't like talking about them, but I have to. I have to get it out. If you're new to my channel, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hear some of the things that you experienced as well. Let me know that I'm not alone. So today I'm going to be talking about the first time that the narcissist pulled a machete on me. Um, so what I can remember, it's been a while. It's been quite a few years. My daughter is going to be 13, and when this happened, she was about two and a half. So it's been a while. Um, I was getting ready for work, and I'm not sure why he was home this day, because he usually leaves before us, but for some reason he was home. Or maybe it was a weekend and I was going out somewhere. No, but I was going to work. I think I remember going to work. So um, he started an argument as always this day, and I am not always quiet. I will voice my opinion. I will say what I have to say. Um, I'm not a pushover. So he made a comment about of always about bills. Now we're living paycheck to paycheck. We have more bills than we have income coming in. So I am trying to rob Peter to pay Paul to make sure that every all the bills are taken care of. And he's always complaining about bills. Always was always a complaint about bills. Um, you live in the same house as me. Your lights are on. Your cable is on. Your phone works. So do the math. The money is not going anywhere other than to bills and groceries and the regular normal maintenance of vehicles and things like that, car payments, those types of things. So this particular day, he started an argument about bills, and so he said to me that I had to get out, that he's gonna put me out of his house. And every argument that we had, even though the house was both of ours, every argument was him saying that it was his house, and he would tell me to get the F out of his house. If I had a nickel for every time I heard those words, get the F out of my house, I would be a billionaire. And I would always say, no, it's not your house, it's our house. And so this day he told me that I had to get the F out of his house. And so I reminded him, because he's of Indian descent. He is from Guyana. His great grandparents are from India. So he is what people would call coolie. And so I reminded him that he was not in Guyana, and that this was the United States of America, and that they look out for women and children. And if anybody had to get out, then it would be him that had to get out. So he went into a rage. Um, I was heading towards the door in the midst of the argument because I was late for work. And next thing you know, he comes back. I'm not home. If I was home, I would actually show you the machete. But it's one of the big, 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 long machetes. It has the hook at the end. And he came back with his eyes bulging out of his head. His mouth was twisted. He was foaming at the mouth. And he let me know that if anybody's going to get the F out, it's going to be me. And that what he would do, he would cut my head off. I started screaming at the top of my lungs. Our daughter was in the living room and she heard the screaming and she walked towards me, and I'm screaming and screaming. And I look down at my daughter, and the fear that's in my eyes, because all I can think is, this man is going to kill me, and my daughter is going to witness it. And then I don't remember what happened after that. I was in fear. But I remember grabbing my daughter. He went somewhere. And when he went somewhere, I grabbed my daughter and I left the house. And I remember when I left the house, I was so afraid. I didn't know what to do. I understand now that the reason why he brought me from New York, away from my family, to Florida, was to detach me from my family and my loved ones, that I would have no support. I remember sitting at work and not knowing, in the parking lot, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go. I called a couple of shelters. Not shelters, excuse me. I called a couple of like domestic violence numbers, and they said that they could put us up in a shelter. But I understand now that this is the wrong thing. But I don't know if anybody understands. I'm from the islands, and we have such pride to the point where it's stupid. And I didn't want my daughter in a shelter. I've never been in a shelter before. I didn't know what that would be like. So I remember just going into work, hanging up the phone from them and going into work, and I don't remember anything other than that. And then I came home that evening, petrified, but feeling lost, lonely, hopeless, and not knowing what to do and where to go. There is help there. Don't let your pride get in the way. Don't put yourself in situations where those types of things can happen. And again, I stayed through so much. I am so upset with myself. I stayed through too much. And then the same man leaves me for a woman on a dating site. He met a woman on a dating site because I stopped giving him the attention that he needed. I detached from him emotionally. He couldn't affect me anymore, so he had to find a new prey. And so he met a woman on a dating site. And 2 weeks after meeting her, he started sending her money. She lived in Georgia. And he started sending her money. And then that's all she wrote. And then God took care of the rest, because God knew I didn't have the strength to leave this man. So God sent this woman to get this man away from me. There's a second time he pulled a machete on me. I put up for too much. Too much. I felt like a fool when he left, because I stayed and I accepted unacceptable behavior for so long. So long. I went into a deep depression. One day I was driving over the bridge going to work, and I remember wanting to just accelerate over the bridge because I felt so stupid for allowing such disgusting. I forgave over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I now understand that me forgiving, I created a Frankenstein by doing that. When we accept unacceptable behavior, when we allow these types of behaviors to go on, they become worse and worse and worse and worse because they feel that they can do anything to us and we will accept it. Take your freedom back. Take your freedom back. He called my father one day and told my father that if he had a bad day at work, when he came home, what he was going to do to me. Not what I had done to him to upset him. If he had a bad day at work, this man had me in mind. He had me in mind. But God is love.